provide you the latest top news in the last 24 hours and also full analysis in the second part of the video. So that's how it works. First part of the video is your headlines in the last 24 hours regarding Tottenham. Second part of the video really dive deeper into those stories. So if you're new, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it with your headlines. Firstly, Savinha is a top target for Tottenham to replace Heung-min Son, reports Fabrizio Romano. Next, Gimme Sport report the Spurs' starting valuation for Eze is similar to the £55 million paid for Mohamed Kudus. Palace wants £68 million release clause triggered or matched even after it expires. Spurs view Eze as a number 10 and are prepared to move quickly. Next, report from The Guardian states that Tottenham are pushing to beat Arsenal to the signing of Eberechi Eze. Arsenal have indicated they need to make sales in attack before pressing ahead with their pursuit of Eze. Eze's release clause expires on Friday. Next, Fabrizio Romano reports that Tottenham keep working on both the Savinha and Eze deals. Spurs want to add 2 attacking players to the squad. They're in talks with Palace and City, talks are ongoing. Fabrizio Romano says that Eberechi Eze is keen on the Tottenham move and Palace are informed of his desire to play Champions League football. Deal now depends on club-to-club talks, but Spurs are now seriously working on it, as reported earlier. Sky Sports News report that Tottenham Hotspur remain interested in Eberechi Eze. They have a long-standing interest in the player and he's been among their top number 10, targets this summer. Arsenal also expressed interest in Eze earlier in the window, but their focus is still on player sales. Fabrizio Romano on Gimme Sport YouTube said, I think in this moment Tottenham are ahead of Arsenal because Tottenham are prepared to go very strong for Eberechi Eze. It's confirmed PSG squad for the Super Cup finals. They've got Hakimi, Balado, Marquinhos, Valicashu, Fabian, Ramos, Dembele, Dure, Vitinha, Lee Kang-jin, Hernandez, Nuno Mendes, Bacola, Chavallo, Zadri Emery, Sefona, Kamara, Numai, Pacho and Rama Martin. That is the team. Next, a report from Mail Sport states that Tottenham Hotspur are expected to follow up their interest by submitting a formalised offer to Crystal Palace for central attacking midfielder Eberechi Eze as soon as this week. Vicario and his change to his goalkeeping style under Thomas Frank. He said, yes, something has changed. I need to be ready to read the situation that I'm presented in front of me. It's a different approach than what I was used to over the last 2 seasons, but what is important is that it's helpful for the team. Mail Sport report that Tottenham made an inquiry about Adam Walton in May, Crystal Palace midfielder, and are one of several clubs still interested in him. Thomas Frank said that the captain will be announced in the squad on Wednesday and the leadership team will be revealed near the end of the month. Thomas Frank spoke about Anton Kinski, saying, I'm very pleased with him. There's good competition in my opinion. He's got a great season ahead of him and here at Tottenham this season. Thomas Frank on why Bissouma has been left at home, because he has been left at home for disciplinary reasons, Frank said. And Frank went into more detail later on, saying he's been late several times and now this time, the latest time was one too many. With everything you need to give your players a lot of love, there need to be demands and consequences, and this is the time there was a consequence. Football London asked a question to Thomas Frank about the situation in terms of fitness of Dominic Solanke and Destiny Udogie. And Frank said that Dom is a positive one and available for selection and Destiny is close. Those are your Tottenham headlines then in the last 24 hours, purely dominated by Savinha and Eze. So let's get into kind of generally and also the reports. So firstly, the report that Savinha is the top target for Tottenham to replace Son. I'm not surprised. I see Savinha as like that left winger, a long-term replacement for Son. I see Eze if we sign him as a 10. Good's obviously on that right. But Savinha is a very flexible player. Can play left or right, and then can even play at the 10. But for me, he struggled at Man City because he's catered on that right. He's a lot better on that left. So it seems like the obvious Son replacement. As I said, I think City are going to make it still difficult, but at the same time, they want it done quite quickly as well. We're going to start off apparently going to Gimme Sport £55 million, same as what it started for Kudus. I think just go in with 65-70 million bid to start with, not being funny. I think we need to get the player done, especially if his release clause expires on Friday. It's interesting we're now ahead of Arsenal, showing more interest. That forces Arsenal to cut their losses, I suppose, the players they sell, cash in quicker. Will it force them to ditch that and take a risk and go for Eze? What Arsenal do is really interesting to see now. And it's good that it looks like it'd be Savinha, and Eze, which is good. Not one or the other, which Tottenham fans were worried about. If I had to choose one or the other, it would be Eze, but they're both really class players. Eze keen to play Champions League football. Obviously, we'll get that though at Arsenal as well. It's important to remember. What else we've got? PSG squad, I mean, that's very strong, isn't it? It just gives me hope that they haven't had a proper pre-season with the Club World Cup being their pre-season. A report from the Mail Sport, they reckon, Tom Columbus of the Mail Sport reckons that Tottenham put in an offer officially by the end of the week. Vicario saying that he's changed his style of goalkeeping to suit Thomas Frank, so it's interesting to see. Adam Walton, I mean, there's interest in May. It's surprising, always seen as a dream target among the fan base. I don't think it will happen now we've got Palhinha, but of course that would be very nice. Frank said that captain will be announced on Wednesday tomorrow, so that's really interesting. We're getting very close to seeing. If I had to predict, I think Romero will be the captain. Seems the obvious choice and replacement for Son. I think maybe Davis will be given quite a big role in the leadership group, or maybe even as vice captain, despite not playing too much. I think he'll play more than people think. I think every other week we'll get on the pitch of some kind. Frank speaking about Kinski said he's good competition. I think he sees Kinski as number 2, but on the heels, and Kinski maybe suits a Frank's side a little bit more, which is interesting here because, and that's why Vicario talks about changing his game. He probably looked at it and go, I need to change. I need to adapt my game because, I'm going to be replaced by Kinski, whose distribution is better and he's better with his feet. So I think that's what Vicario talks about adjusting his game, which maybe is why he's still the number 1. I'm not sure. What else have we got? Bissouma, and he's been left at home. I mean, that's bad for Bissouma. I just think you sell him at this point. We don't want that kind of bad attitude in the dressing room at all. It's not needed. So it's poor from Bissouma. I think the right decision and action by the club. And it's good that Thomas Frank has said that Solanke's the one who's available. Destiny's close, but Doggy's travelled, which is interesting. I'm never keen on that if you aren't fit. That's the thing with Maddison. I think he personally went to travel, to the tour of Asia, and I don't think it was 100% as forced to play it. That's why I'm a bit annoyed at the club that we are touring the world for pre-season. You should do a little bit, of course. It's good for the club off the pitch, money, but you should also have games at home. We've only had one behind closed doors at Hotspur way, but I won't get into that now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's your daily Tottenham headlines the last 24 hours and full analysis on every single report. And a bit generalised because it is a lot about Savinia and Eze today. So get involved in the comments below anything you agree or disagree with me on and anything that's heard I've discussed headlines in the last 24 hours. Thank you very much for watching. For now, a massive come on you Spurs. You know